Yo, what's up guys? This is Evil, and today I'd like to talk about starter bases. There's a lot of interesting Rust starter bases on YouTube, however, there are a number of considerations that are rarely addressed. First, a starter base needs to be simple. Early game in Rust is stressful, and in a stressful situation, it's hard to recall the building steps of a complicated build. I reckon this is the primary reason why so many people still build 2x1s as starters. Second, they require too much preparation to get started. If you're on a populated server, it's pretty hard to have anything other ready when you start than a bit of wood. Any build that assumes otherwise means you're way more likely to die before you get even started with the build. Third, they're too big. A starter is meant to get you off the ground, not to be a permanent home. Many builds are labeled as starters that could easily be considered solo bases. Having one stone wall between the loot and the raiders is enough. Beyond all these points, most starter builds do not have any defense. That means door campers can easily trap you in your base, and when you're starting out, every minute you're not out farming, you're falling behind. I'm presenting the Evil 2x1 with a shooting floor. It's simple, since it's basically an extension of a 2x1. It can be built in tiny steps, and it has a shooting floor with 360-degree view. Not only does this allow to fight door campers, it also projects power into the immediate surroundings. Other players may feel threatened and stay away. The item placement is efficient, the base houses all the items you need to get off the ground until you can start building your main base, including 4 large boxes, a research table and a workbench. The cost is below 4.5k stone and 2.5k wood for the build. The upkeep is 550 stone, 329 wood and 57 metal frags. The first thing you notice is that the shooting floor is made out of wood. This is on purpose. You don't want to appear richer than you are, you can save stone for your actual base, and a stone floor would not add much protection anyway. The entrance is on the second floor, this way it's harder to just camp in front of your door and go deep. The double door is placed to block the entrance if you have it open. If you leave, open the double door, then the normal door. If you get killed at this point, no one can get in. The windows come with a variety of creative add-ons that are designed to give you cover and can be built without blueprints. The 4 small wooden signs simply narrow the window and give you more cover. The normal wooden sign is placed to protect your head. This works very well if the window points into the direction of a downward slope. In case you have them unlocked, you can also use portrait picture frames. This one conceals the side when you enter the shooting floor. This one works a little bit like a vertical embrasure. Now I don't want to assume that you have any blueprints. However, if you get your hands on a shotgun trap, here's the second best place to put it. It points at the location that raiders are most likely to come from, assuming that they will use the outer triangle in order to jump up onto the second floor. If you jump down through this door, you notice a furnace, which is intended to work as a jump chest. A barbecue works equally well. Down here is the crafting and smelting section of the base. Here is the best place to put the shotgun trap. If raiders jump down with the explosives and get killed, they may not be able to recover the materials. This section features another 2 furnaces, a sleeping bag and a workbench. Behind the sheet metal double door, we find the main loot room. It features the TC, 4 large boxes and a research table and a barbecue. This should be sufficient to get you through early wipe. Again, the sheet metal double door serves as airlock. If it's open, it prevents people from running through the normal door frame. This build guide assumes you want to get started on a competitive vanilla server. I'm explaining every step in detail for newer players. If you're an expert, skip ahead. We start with a simple 1x1 and a wooden door. Upgrade to whatever you can, but wood is fine for now. Notice I have not even placed the TC yet. The TC is 1000 wood, which you need more urgently for the walls. Next, we're going to expand the base into a 2x1. The door frame goes on the side. This way the double door blocks the entrance when it's open. Again, upgrade to whatever you have at this point and place a wooden door on the outside. Now that you have a working airlock in place, bring in the TC and the sleeping bag. Place the TC on the left-hand side, make sure that it faces towards you and that it's placed as far back as possible. The placement of the sleeping bag is temporary. I recommend putting it down on this side because it's hardest to see when the outer doors are open. Next, focus on farming stone and upgrade the base bit by bit until everything is upgraded to stone. At the same time, try to obtain 50 low-grade fuel in order to build a furnace. The first furnace should go into this corner opposite of the entrance. Cook 450 metal frags and replace the wooden doors with sheet metal doors. Make sure you're not getting jumped while changing the outer door. When you've completed this step, you're flame rate proof. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to place all the items efficiently. Once you have the frags for large boxes, pick up the other items, then position yourself and rotate the box as shown. You want to make sure that the moment the box clips out of the wall, you can see all of the bezel emerge at once. This shows that you're aligned perfectly straight, which is necessary to fit the second box. It can sometimes take a while to fit the second box, so keep trying. Find a new spot for the sleeping bag, we're gonna move it anyway later. To place the other two boxes, first head outside and build this temporary construction. Thanks to the half-height triangle floor, we can now place a triangle floor on the inside as well. And once this floor has been placed, you can remove the temporary construction. Thanks to the new stability mechanics in building 3.2, the floor triangle is supported by the full wall. To place the boxes, jump on top of the triangle, same position as before. Again, make sure that the box is perfectly aligned. If you did it right, the last box should fit easily. By the way, you might want to take out the double door before doing that, otherwise you might not be able to get off the triangle anymore. Once you get the workbench, place it next to the door. A second furnace goes next to the first one. To place the research table, pick up those two boxes. Then the table should fit perfectly into the rear right corner. To replace the upper box, you might have to remove the double door temporarily. Now the fourth box can go here. Put the sleeping bag in front of the entrance, and don't forget to replace the double door. A barbecue can fit nicely next to the research table. Now we begin to expand the 2x1 and build the shooting floor. First we close off the entrance and only leave the ceiling open. Place your third furnace here so you can jump onto the second floor. Up here, build another airlock out of stone. As door, use a wooden one. A metal door would be overkill since going through the wall is cheaper then. In order to enter and exit the base, build a staircase at the opposite corner. To do that, place a half-height triangle and upgrade it to wood. Now place windows on the four corners and the door frame where you build the staircase. A double door frame goes into the center. And once you're done, upgrade everything to wood. The upper two doors work in the same fashion as the lower two doors. Then place wooden window bars so that raiders cannot easily jump into the shooting floor. During the tour, I demonstrated 4 different ways of making the windows stronger. The most important thing to know is when placing these items is that the center of your screen needs to point at the center rod of the window bars in order to be placeable. For each window, choose a design that fits the surroundings. Don't just copy what I built here. If you happen to stumble across shotgun traps, the best spot is covering the entrance to the core. Another good spot is behind the second floor airlock. With a bit of luck, this placement can stall a raider for quite some time. Remember, this is a starter, meant to give you the means of defending yourself while you're collecting resources for your main base. You can of course upgrade and honeycomb it to extend the usefulness for a bit. However, I recommend to move to your main base as soon as you have the materials. This base can still remain your flanking base.